Congratulations! You've almost completed Adobe Digital Literacy course. This course has shown that one of the best ways to promote digital literacy is to actively produce and share your ideas with others. The following exercise aims to practice that approach. To receive your official Adobe Digital Literacy badge, you will create an Adobe Creative Cloud Express webpage to focus your vision and to share with others, to inspire them, and ultimately to cultivate student digital literacy. Your Adobe Creative Cloud Express webpage can contain as many ideas as you wish, but it should include at least these 3 elements: your definition of digital literacy, a brief vision for how you might cultivate digital literacy in your course, department, or school, and an example of a digital literacy assignment prompt that illustrates your definition and enables your vision. Let's take a look at some of the creations made by others you've met on the course.
In my definition of digital literacy, I think about how when I was a college professor, I defined digital literacy as the ability to produce powerful narratives using multiple modalities, such as pen and paper or video and blog. I thought that when woven together, students became digitally literate, but now I've learned so much more. Students need to navigate online information with a critical eye as well. I'm no longer at a university, I'm now at Adobe, but I would cultivate digital literacy by including multimodal components in all of my assignments at the end of semester projects. And I'm thinking that an example of a final project could be the creation of a podcast and a related website using Adobe Audition rather than a traditional research paper. This could really teach students to weave both research, writing, auditory, oral, and presentation skills together in one.
What you're seeing here is a web page that I made in Creative Cloud Express that helps me think through defining critical digital literacy for myself and my students especially. You'll notice that I put the word critical in front of digital literacy, which I think of as a fundamental learning outcome for this century. That's because I want students and everyone associated with the project of my courses and curriculum to think beyond just being functionally literate toward also being critically literate, which means to have agency and to use these creative technologies to promote change. It seems almost obvious at this point that in this particular century, leveraging these technologies to affect this kind of agency and change in our world goes hand in hand. So, I'm not interested just in functional digital literacy, which is maybe something like the ability to simply read and write words digitally, but also critical digital literacy, which is the ability to read and write the world powerfully. When critical literacy becomes part of a pedagogy, that means that we think about integrating these technologies into our classes in a way that's consistent with this principle because we want to affect agency and critical perspective. And so, to me, the way that students do that is for them to connect what's going on in our courses with the world around them, specifically in their communities and through what matters to them. I want them to use digital literacy technologies to enable just exactly that kind of experience and engagement with our world. If so, the assignment prompts that we put together as instructors will ask students to tell stories of community broadly defined so that their work could have anything to do with a community, their hometown, a career, an industry, a discipline, or an institution. I think it's really up to them to determine what community they want to focus on, and there's this sort of 5-step essential process, which begins with first identifying an issue that's important to them, and then carefully and academically researching that issue in the form of an annotated bibliography. Next, students write up a proposal for the instructor to approve to make sure that what they're doing is ethically correct and not endangering anybody in any way. Step 3 is to use their smartphone or a video camera to interview an expert as original research that is going to be the evidence upon which their perspective in this particular academic project is based. Step 4 is editing, and these days I recommend using Premiere Express to edit together short videos for this kind of work. And it's important to give students options all along the way and to be open and flexible as much as possible so that if someone doesn't have access to a smartphone or a video camera, there's an approximation or a different way that they can do the same sort of critical literacy moves. Maybe even just using pen and paper to conduct the interview, and then using Creative Cloud Express to make a web page to compose the project. The final step is to publish and to enter their ideas into circulation with other perspectives. For our students to participate in what has been called the conversation of humankind, which is the critical moment when critical digital literacy is realized.
You've seen what can be done. Now, it's your turn. It's time to get started on your journey as a cultivator of creativity and digital literacy for all. And when you're finished, share what you've learned with Adobe and your community.